Given that cotangent of theta is equal to -5/12 and theta is in quadrant 2, find secant and cosecant. The question tells us that cotangent of theta is equal to -5/12, which means that the tangent of theta is equal to -12/5. Now that we know that tangent of theta is equal to -12/5, we can draw our triangle in quadrant 2, and then we can label our sides. We know 12 is the opposite, and we know 5 is the adjacent. But we know one of these two has to be negative, and we can determine that it's the 5 that has to be negative because we're in quadrant 2 and we're going in the negative x direction, whereas this 12 is going in the positive y direction. So now that we have our triangle labeled and we have our two legs of the triangle, we can use the Pythagorean theorem to find the missing side. So we get C is equal to the square root of 12 squared plus 5 squared. Simplifying that, we get C is equal to the square root of 169, which means C is equal to 13. Now that we have all three sides of our triangle, we can go ahead and fill in all of our trig ratios, not just the two that it's asking for. So sine of theta is our opposite over our hypotenuse. So our opposite is 12/13. Cosine of theta is -5/13, which is our adjacent over our hypotenuse. Tangent of theta is the opposite over the adjacent, so 12/-5, which is what we figured out earlier. And then now that we know these, we can do the reciprocals. So cosecant of theta is equal to 13/12. Then secant of theta is equal to -13/5. Then cotangent of theta is equal to -5/12. And this question is asking for cosecant and secant, so these will be our two answers.